All right, good morning everybody and thanks for joining us. My name is Tanner Watt. I'm a municipal energy specialist with Local Authority Services, and I'm joined today by Brett Rudy, who's a sales representative in Southwest Ontario for Armtec. The Culvert offering is part of our municipal group buying program. We launched this in August of 2019. The goals are to help municipalities save money through group purchasing, bulk buy discounts, and also to save time on procurement, because we know that's becoming a significant time expense for municipalities. We'll be recording this presentation and posting it to our YouTube account. We'll send out a video link to you in the next couple of days, along with a copy of the slide deck. For any of the other webinars that we've hosted in the last few weeks or months, check out the learning section on our website. They're all listed on there. We have 2 webinars scheduled for the next month or so. The first is on February 26th, which is ground engagement tools. That's with Valley Blades out of Waterloo, things like grater blades, bucket teeth, any of those wear items. And on March 11th, we'll be talking about our tire program. And that includes Cal Tire and Tirecraft for service, and Goodyear and Michelin for the actual tires themselves. For Q&A today, we'll be using the Q&A function built into this platform. On your screen, probably at the bottom, but possibly on the top, there'll be a little box that says Q&A. At any point during the presentation, you can type in a question you have, and at the end of it, we'll go through and answer all of them. So without any further ado, I will hand it off to Brett.
First of all, thank you everyone for joining us today. Today in the office here, we've got myself, Brett Rudy, who takes care of Southwestern Ontario, and my counterpart, Matthew Ellis, who takes care of the Green Belt. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the products that we have offering throughout our company for your municipalities. We're going to be talking about our CSP products, our HDPE products, bridging solutions, structural plates, and finally, we'll get into some culvert rehabilitations. First, we're going to get into some of the company history here, which Matt's going to take us through.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Just to give you a little bit of an update on Armtec and where we are. We're a 100-year-plus company, started back in 1908. It was called Armco, and we have a new owner as of the end of 2018, which is the WGI Westman Group. They're based out of Manitoba, and they're a privately run company. The nice thing is that they are Canadian, and you can see from this map that we have several locations and plants in Canada, as well as specifically here in Ontario. In Ontario, we have Peterborough and Cambridge that do the CSPs. Woodstock does the HDPE Boss Pipe. Walkerton and Orangeville would manufacture the Big O tubing, and Thunder Bay as well. We have that does the CSP, and finally, Guelph, where the company started, does a lot of our structural plate steel products. So we're a Canadian company and provide Canadian jobs as well. Just a little highlight of all the different products that we can offer in the infrastructure drainage product line. We're going to talk about a lot of them today, but we've got the bridge products, so bridge in a box, which we'll quickly highlight today. Our multi-plate bridges, you can see the arch, and you can also see a retaining wall head wall. Corrugated steel pipe for culvert applications, road applications. In this case, you've actually got a stormwater tank as well. We've got the geosynthetics, all the geotextiles, as well as retaining walls made from geotextile, large diameter steel reinforced polyethylene pipe, which is a new product, which we'll briefly highlight today as well. Bin walls, some of you may have seen these on several applications. We use these for bridge abutments and retaining walls. Armtec in the last couple of years has really focused on adding stormwater products to our product line. So we really to focus on that going forward with chambers for detention, retention, as well as water quality units. And finally, our Boss 2000 pipe, which you can see on the bottom right, for storm sewers, as well as road culverts and whatnot. So I'll let Brett get into, I guess, some of the culvert details.
Many of you should be aware of what our core business is drainage pipe, culvert application pipe. So we really got our two main products that we really focus on is our corrugated HDPE pipe, which is our plastic pipe made in wood stock. Great uses are for slip line installation or for relining, small drainage pipes, as well as new culvert application going forward. So those diameters we have available in 100 millimeter to 900 millimeter diameter. We have them 6 meter standard lengths. We can do custom order if the order's there. It is a smooth inner wall, and it is offered in bell and gasket joints as well as plain end. The Manning's factor is 0.012, which is the same equivalent to a concrete pipe.
And just on that, there's really types of Boss 2000 pipe. The bell and gasket, which is watertight, so you see those in storm sewer applications.
You guys can't hear you very well right now.
The second type of Boss 2000 would be like a plain end type of couple. So you tend to see those more in road applications, while the bell and gasket is a watertight pipe.
No, still can't hear.
Odd.
Storm sewer.
Is that any better there, Tanner?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear now.
Okay, so just to reiterate, the bell and gasket Boss 2000 pipe is going to have a watertight joint. You tend to see these pipes used more for storm sewer applications, while the plain end with couplers, the second Boss 2000 type of pipe, and that tends to be more for road applications. So just to highlight the difference between the two.
So with our Boss 2000, we do offer a variety of fittings to make your project work however it needs to bend or turn or add in different connections or repairs. We can also have reducers, eccentric and concentric, to move from a larger diameter pipe to a smaller diameter pipe. Some of the technical details on our Boss 2000 polytype pipe, it can be offered in 210 kPa or 320 kPa. Both are CSA certified. Like I said before, they come in 100 to 900 millimeter diameter in size. The advantages really are it is cost effective up to 24 inches. It's chemically inert. The watertight joints, and like I said before, the coefficient of friction, the Manning's factor, is the same as concrete pipe. So it's a lighter pipe to install with the same service life, if not longer than a concrete pipe. The disadvantages are the cost versus CSP, and it really does only go up to 900 diameter, whereas our CSP can go up to 3,600. Here's a quick height of cover table. I'm not going to touch base on this too much since this presentation is going to be sent out. This will be in your files and you can take a look over it if you have any information that you might need. We move into our steel culverts, which is the real core business that we focus on. We do have different styles of CSP. We have a round pipe, which goes from 100 millimeter diameter to our largest diameter, which is 3,600. And then we can move those pipes into a pipe arch structure as well, like you can see below in the bottom left corner picture. The largest span we can do there is about a 3,300. We can also provide an OPSD table that provides what the equivalent round pipe to what our arched equivalent diameters would be. And it's noted later in this presentation what that OPSD sheet is. The corrugations are helical. It's a helically wound product with re-rolled ends for our coupler application for longer stretches of pipe. As well as we do have an ultra flow smooth wall pipe, which is virtually a smooth walled steel pipe. We're one of the only manufacturers across Canada that can produce this pipe the way that Armtec can. It offers the same Manning's factor, the coefficient of friction, so the same flowability as what an HDPE pipe would offer, or a concrete pipe. This corrugation profile is a 12 millimeter ribbing, which we manufacture only in our Peterborough facility. Here we can get into the corrugations. So we've got our 38 by 6.5 millimeter, which is only for our small diameter pipe. Then we move to our 68 by 13 corrugation profile, which is a 300 to 2000 diameter. Like I just stated, our ultra flow, which we can do is a max diameter of 2600 and a minimum diameter of 450. So those smaller diameters aren't available in the ultra flow just due to production capabilities. You can see that one of the diameters is discontinued in the corrugation profiles. And our other core product is our 5x1 or 125 millimeter by 25 millimeter corrugation, which is the larger diameter helically round CSP, which goes from 1200 up to 3600 diameter. The three coatings that we do offer on our steel products are galvanized steel. All of our CSP products come either galvanized, aluminized, or with a polymer laminated coating on the coil. So it's all corrugated already with these treatments applied, sorry.
Depending on the service life that you're looking for, the environmental conditions, meaning how aggressive the water is and how say the soil interacts with galvanized, you may want to consider looking at upgrading to an aluminized or a polymer laminate versus the traditional galvanized. With that, there comes a cost increase, but again, if you have problem areas where you're getting galvanized culverts rotting out in 10 to 15 years or less, that's definitely a sign that you may want to consider upgrading to a different coating, be it the aluminized or the HDPE. In regard to the thicknesses, you can see here, depending on the diameter, you're going to have different thicknesses. Typically in the industry, we go up to 3.5 mil, but in some cases, really large sizes, you will see a 4.2 mil. But most of the time, standard for the smaller sizes is 1.6, and you move up to 2.0 at about the 1200 mil diameter range, and so on. So this is all governed by the OPSD specification for round CSP pipe, and we can definitely assist with that if you're not sure what particular thickness you want to go with.
So we do go into our arch pipe, which we do take a standard round pipe and have an arching machine to make those diameters with corner haunches and lower profile for your to meet your height of coverage requirements. Like it's specified here, the OPSD sheet is 805.020. If you can Google that, it'll show you all of the different diameters that we can offer, and we can form all of our pipe to these specifications. We've already gone through this with our diameters and steel thicknesses for our ultra flow. These are some pictures of how it's helically wound, coupled together, and bundled for shipping. We do also offer end treatments. It's not part of the predetermined price list that we've gone through with LAS through the tender process for, but it is an offering that we can provide to help reduce these risks you may have in your municipalities. One of the major causes of culvert failure is scouring. So you can see these in the bottom pictures where the culverts are just washing away from the fill around them, just from high flow pressure waters. Proper end treatments can protect the pipe and the embankment and the safety of your roadways They can also improve hydraulics for the inlet and outlet. It can be in the form of armoring or funneling. Here's just some examples of some of our end treatments. So you've got flared end sections, concrete collars. This is an application for our bin walls as well. Just look at the picture there. So Matt touched on our durability of our coatings. So here gives you a quick rundown on what the actual coatings are and what they provide. So galvanized coating, it's mainly used for hard water, provides a service life of 50 years in non-aggressive situations. It can reduce down to 25, 35 years in aggressive brackish water or acidic water conditions. Just to give you a value price point on what it's going to cost a municipality, we put a dollar value on this. We moved to our aluminized coating, which is our next option available to you, which allows for a 75-year service life. This can be dropped down to, like I said, with brackish conditions into the 35 to 50-year range, and it's going to cost about $1.30. And then our premium or top of the line product is the polymer laminate, and we say that because it's virtually indestructible. You can use it in any conditions, the harshest, and you're going to get that 75 to 100-year service life. That's going to run you up about $1.60 in comparison to the galvanized and aluminized. So when we go, I don't know how much we're going to go into this, but the design codes for the different spans available within your municipalities. So anything under 3 meters, we need to go with the Handbook of Steel Drainage and Highway Construction Products, AISI standards. Anything over 3 meters needs to conform to the Canadian Highway, Bridge, and Design Code, which you can see pictures of here, and we have copies available as well if you don't have these, which we can provide. This is just a height of cover table for our round pipe. This is similar to the OPSD 805.020. It does show your minimum thicknesses for the corrugations and maximum that we can provide. So we conform all of our pipe to these standards and specifications. Then we get into our new product, let's call it Duramax, and which is a steel reinforced polyethylene pipe. So these are best of both worlds. You're matching your HDPE durability with your CSP strength. So you're adding steel reinforced ribs, which are fully laminated in HDPE to provide that extra stability and durability. I touched on this a little bit here. So the diameters available are 750 to 3000 diameter. They come in 4.27 meter and 6.7 meter standard lengths. They're bell and gasket joints at 75 kPa, and we do offer welded joints at 100 kPa, this is the same Manning's factor as an HDPE pipe or an ultra flow or concrete pipe.
One thing to keep in mind here with this particular product, it's designed to offer an alternative to traditional pipe methods for storm sewers. So if you're a municipality and you have to do a large storm sewer, you have an option here with the Duramax. It's going to meet your requirements, as well as it's going to offer significant cost savings. The larger the diameter, the more the cost savings. We're working with a couple larger municipalities on some storm sewer applications where they want to provide a good product that's inert to basically any chemical, as well as providing significant cost savings. They're lighter pipes, longer lengths, less joints, and definitely something, if you are looking at storm sewers, you should give us a call. We can give you an idea of what these particular products would cost for your applications.
There are other alternative to a steel reinforced HDPE. This is the pipe that we've manufactured. Duramax is a product that we are licensed seller of within Ontario and Canada. Boss 3000 we manufacture in Woodstock. It's also a steel reinforced polyethylene pipe, but it is helically wound as opposed to annular as in the last product. The main thing to add about this product is it is 320 kPa and is CSA certified. So it's made in Canada and it does meet all the specifications. This product is 6 meter standard lengths, and we can provide fittings with our we do have a robotic fitting machine to cut and produce our fittings, which is pretty neat. Here's the diameter. So this is to provide the gap that we had in our HDPE market. HDPE only went up to a 900 diameter. We brought this product in to expand our diameters available within the plastic industry. So we've gone to 1050 up to 2100 diameter. It offers in bell and spigot as well as plain end. And these height of cover requirements, the minimum height and maximum height, they are conservative numbers that we put into our sheet here. But with looking at a project, we can always come around and do the actual calculations to provide what our maximum and minimum could actually be. So we're starting to get running out of time here because I know Tanner wanted to give us about 20 minutes here to present and have a good Q&A session. But I'm going to quickly go through what our steel structures are just to give you guys an idea if you're not familiar with our engineered product. So we do have our structural plate, and this is what's built in Cambridge and in Guelph. We offer a bridge plate structure, a multi-plate structure, and a tunnel liner plate structure for providing reline solutions. These are for larger spans, anything over 3 meters, we move into a multi-plate structure versus a CSP product. Anything over 7 meters, we move into a bridge plate product, which is a deep core corrugation profile. These are ideal for culverts, large culverts, underpasses, bridges, stream enclosures, and conveyor tunnels. We can provide these in round pipe and arches, as well as single radius or dual radius arches. So they're an open bottom structure. Same coatings apply as our CSP. We've got our galvanized. We do not have aluminized, but we do offer a polymer coated to add that service life. We can do half the structure polymer coated and the rest galvanized to provide a cost savings as well. This is just a quick cost benefit analysis versus concrete applications. So really everything you see here, the structure cost is less expensive. The backfill material is flat with what's required for concrete structures. The footings pricing is down. Installation costs are lower. The freight is lower because we can stack everything and the service life is the same. The total cost savings estimated are 30 to 35% here. And then our last one we're going to talk about is our trenchless culvert rehabilitation. With the amount of funding that is provided to municipalities these days, it's very important to know that there are other options out there as opposed to ripping out a road and replacing the whole structure in a concrete structure and replacing the roadway. The projects like this can get up to $1 million or more, where we can provide a solution where really we're rehabilitating and rejuvenating the culvert to extend its lifespan and save the municipalities money. It's really a 3-step process. We can get into this too if you're ever looking for it. I'm going to go quick here because we're running out of time. But give one of us a call. You'll see our contacts on the last slide here as well. This is an example of how it's safer to install tunnel liner plate as well as cost effective, whereas you're putting a structure in while the road traffic is still live above you. This is an example of a multi-plate structure being put together outside the culvert. It will then be pushed or pulled into the existing structure and then grouted in place to rejuvenate it. I'm not going to go through this, there's a lot of numbers, but you'll have the presentation and you can have a look at it. There's some key things to note here is the service lives of our products, as well as the coefficient of friction, and really the diameter sizes, what we can offer. So with looking at a trenchless concept and solution with our tunnel liner plates or our multi-plates, we're looking at probably a 30 to 40% savings, which is exclusive to detour inconvenience. So that's the key thing with a rehabilitation for municipalities, is the actual cost savings involved. Thank you for your time, guys and girls. This is a list of our contacts for all of our different territories. I'm Brett Rudy. I took care of Southwestern Ontario. Matthew Ellis is with me here today. He takes care of the Greenbelt. You'll have all this information here. So if you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to any one of us and we'll point you in the right direction. And thank you for your time.
All right, thanks, Brett and everybody for doing the presentation. Right now, we don't have any open questions on the Q&A thing. So if any of the attendees have anything that they would like to ask, feel free to pop in. And Brett, if there's anything that you had rushed past there that you wanted to look back on, got a few minutes open.
One thing I might mention regarding our structural plate, obviously there's a cost savings to relining, but a lot of times owners, like a lot of municipalities, will just do what's always been done. So, you know, maybe they'll do a concrete box culvert or a bridge, when in some cases you can look at other alternatives to save money. We looked at a quick example of a cost comparison between a 14-meter bridge plate and a 14-meter concrete bridge, and there's significant cost savings. And the nice thing for the owners, like most municipalities, would be the system's going to last for 75 years, meaning you don't need to maintain it. You don't need to come in and do repair after 40 years. Like these particular plate products, when they're designed for 75 years, they're going to last for 75 years at a minimum before they start to show any signs of deterioration. So it's definitely something, you know, I like to let a lot of the municipalities know. Give us, you know, really anything over 3 meter span, give us an opportunity to show you, you know, another option. And you might be pleasantly surprised. We've done several of these in Ontario, and especially in a lot of rural places, but we've also done them as an example in the region of Peel. So it doesn't really matter how big or small the municipality is. If you want to look at another option to save money and provide a product that's going to meet the Canadian Bridge Design Code, then definitely feel free to get a hold of us.
All right, so we've had a few questions come in. So the first one is, would somebody from Armtec come and make suggestions and let us know what the cost would be for a culvert issue? And if so, is there a cost for them to come?
Thanks, Tanner. So first, we'll absolutely come out to walk through a culvert and provide our expertise on what we would suggest for either a replacement or for a rehabilitation. We've done this multiple times over the course of our last few years, anyways, that I've been involved with the company. And it's really helped, one, to provide a cost savings measure for the municipality, but also give our engineering firms out there a better understanding of some of the products we do offer. So yeah, we'll absolutely come out and look at your culverts, and we'll absolutely no charge of that. That's, you know, we're out and about to begin with. This is what we like doing. So we'll be happy to come out and discuss what a replacement option would be.
Regarding, I guess, what the average costs would be, I'm assuming that question's specific to our structural plate products. I can tell you every project's different. You know, the thickness might be different, the coating might be different. So what we can do, as Brett mentioned, is we can come out to your site or work with, you know, a specific municipality to provide a preliminary project proposal. So we would look at the specific, you know, rise, span requirements, length, and what you would like to do for your specific application, and then come up with a realistic project-specific cost. As we mentioned, when you're comparing to other traditional methods, we've seen significant cost savings, 30 to 40%. There's also an environmental factor here as well. You know, think about the structural plate all being stacked together. You might have one, maybe two trucks, where if it was traditional bridge products, it might be 10 or 20 trucks. I mean, in the past, Armtec's had a concrete portion of the company, and we've seen, I personally did a 12-meter span box culvert there was 60, meaning 60 trucks. If we would have done that in bridge plate, it would have probably been 2. So there's an environmental factor too, but obviously cost, but definitely something to think about environmentally.
All right, so we've got the next one is what will the average cost savings be? And I'm assuming this is to do with the contract that LAS has with Armtec. It'll depend on the product. For specific pricing, feel free to reach out to us. The next one is related to that. How is the tendering process done? Again, that's one that we can fill you in on a little bit more behind the scenes. It was an open bid process for this type of product. It was conducted, led by RMA in Alberta. They do it on behalf of all of the provincial organizations in Canada. That helps get better bulk buy rates because it is a truly coast-to-coast program with the usual exception of Quebec. And we can provide those RFP documents for you if that would be helpful. What type of agreement do we sign, and is it signed with Armtec or LAS? The agreement would be with Armtec, not LAS. And how do we justify to council that these are the lowest cost products offered to the municipality? We can't guarantee that, but there's no exclusivity agreement through the program. So if you want to do a cost comparison, comparing our program to others available to you, we would welcome that. These have been negotiated on behalf of about 2,500 municipalities, so we're quite confident that our pricing is the best that you can get. Next question, we currently buy direct from Armtec. What would we save by buying through LAS? And similar to that one, I think Armtec, you would be able to provide pricing through the program and pricing outside the program for whatever products it is that the municipality would be looking for.
Yeah, Tanner, what I would suggest, Tom, thank you for your question, would be to contact your representative direct. Like we went through a lot of products in this presentation that weren't part of the tender process. So the key products that were part of the tender process that have set pricing for the municipality is our CSP products in galvanized coating, our engineered steel products, which is our bridge plate, our multi-plate, and our tunnel liner plate, along with our bridge in a box, which we didn't really touch on today. It is a technical product, so we'd be happy to come out and talk to you about it, as well as our bin wall. So those are the main products that were part of the tender process. I know the big question is going to be, what about HDPE? We can run this product or any of our products through the LAS program, but we would need to price those individually. So, Tom, I recommend reaching out to your representative and asking the question direct, and we can provide the information. Your LAS rep? No, sorry, Tom. Your Armtec rep, which I've got here below. Armtec is in control of the price list for what was tendered as well as plastic pipe. So we'll be happy to get you into some numbers, Tom. Just reach out to your current rep in your territory, and we'll help you out with that.
Right, so one other thing that I'll mention while we're waiting to see if there are any other questions that come in is how the process works for municipalities who want to join up with the group buying program, and this applies to any of the offerings on there. We have a couple of things that need to be done just to make sure all of the trade compliance stuff is taken care of. The first is we need an opt-in form. This is non-binding. It's just information for LAS to make sure we know who the primary contact is for the program. And it also helps us track interest so that we know the types of products that municipalities are looking for. And the second is a public notice of planned procurement that will get posted on your website. And we have a letter documenting or outlining what the wording needs to be and where it needs to be posted, how often, that sort of thing. So if you're interested, let me know, and sending those 2 documents will be one of the first steps that I'll take to get you enrolled. All right, so seeing no further questions, I think we'll wrap it up there. Myself and the Armtec guys will stick around for a little bit just in case any others come in. But thanks everybody for taking the time to join us, and feel free to be in touch if this program looks like it would be able to help out your municipality. Thanks all.
Thanks everyone for joining.